So what's the difference between mentoring and coaching? And so for me, let's start with mentoring, for example. When you seek out a mentor, it's usually somebody who has a lot of experience in a certain domain or field of knowledge, if you will, that you may not necessarily possess. You're going to them because you want to know how they achieved something, how they did it. What were some of the stumbling blocks they experienced? Their trials and errors, and how did they overcome those? It's an opportunity to hear somebody else's story and perspective, and maybe get deeper insight into your situation by hearing how they went through it. Whereas a coach is very different. It's less direct. It's more of an indirect conversation where the coach doesn't necessarily have to have experience in the field or the industry that you're working in or struggling with, perhaps if you're dealing with a certain issue. It's just somebody who sits there and lets you kind of guide where the conversations go by asking you really structured, open-ended questions. They get you to experience what I like to call an aha moment. An aha moment is a self-discovery. You're able to discover something that you didn't necessarily know before. That gives you a lot more insight and meaning into the situation you're dealing with. And through those opportunities and those aha moments, you figure out a different way to cope or approach the situation. And those moments are extremely powerful. Because when you're on your own and you don't have a coach or you don't have a mentor, you can reflect on some of those questions that were asked to you and almost walk yourself through that process to figure out how to move forward. Now, both are critical and important, and I think any good manager in their career needs access to both. And sometimes you may actually be reaching out to a mentor, but not necessarily calling them a mentor. But yet it's somebody that you can go to for advice. I have lots of mentors. I have mentors individuals I'll seek out when I have a question about an employee relations issue. I'll go to somebody if I need to talk to about specifics around leadership, for example. And coaches I like to go to when I feel like I'm having an internal struggle and I need somehow to clear my thought and my mind and work through it. I like going to coaches because they have no experience in what I'm talking about, but they can help guide me through open-ended questions to help me get a deeper insight and meaning into what I need to figure out on my own. And so for me, the two are very important and critical and do need to exist in a workplace. And so I always put out to executive leaders, how are you creating opportunities for mentoring and coaching to occur? And ensuring that it's actually built in, not an add-on. So for example, if you have certain tasks that you need to achieve every day, and then they add on the task of you have to have a certain amount of coaching conversations with your people, that may just add undue stress and actually be detrimental to the effort that you're trying to achieve. So really think about mentoring and coaching and how to embed that really through everyday work. So it just becomes natural and truly accessible to anybody who needs it at the time they need it.